Hello, Michael Vaughan.
Hello, David.
Michael, I'm looking at the title of this, The Secret History of the American Empire, The Truth About Economic Hitmen, Jackals, and How to Change the World.
Yes.
Is this really a business book?
It is. It's a business book for conspiracy theorists. And, there are a lot of them out there. This is the second book by John Perkins. His first one was called Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It was on the New York Times bestseller list for 70 weeks. Now, his basic point is that American foreign policy and American foreign aid, basically since the 1970s, is all a conspiracy to plunder third world countries, bury them in debt, and make them puppet states for the corporate interests that control the United States. Now, like all good conspiracy theories, there's an element of truth in what he says. But the reason I'm reviewing this follow-up book of his, the one called The Secret History of the American Empire, is because there are a lot of people who read these books and believe this is what business is all about. I saw a recent national poll that said 70% of Americans believe that the Bush White House is controlled by big business.
So tell us a little bit more about Perkins and how he came up with these conspiracy theories.
Well, he started working in the 1970s for the U.S., the NSA, the National Security Agency. Now, they're the folks who listen in on our phone calls right now to fight terrorism. But then he moved on to work for businesses connected to the NSA and the CIA and the World Bank and so on. Now, he was an economic forecaster, which sounds pretty dull, but he tells tales of threats and bribes and sex and plane crashes that were all used to promote huge infrastructure and defense projects in countries that couldn't afford them, with the money, of course, being paid to big American companies. Now, the aim was to get these countries billions of dollars in debt to the U.S. to ensure their obedience and control their oil. Now, in many places, this reads like a cheap action novel, and of course, Perkins is the hero, or the anti-hero, as you prefer.
Cheap action novel. Are you writing him off as a lightweight?
Well, he's no Noam Chomsky. If I want to read about conspiracies in U.S. foreign policy, I want to get it from someone with a Nobel Prize quality mind, and Perkins ain't that. And his first-hand stories are now, more than 30 years old. But all he has to do is say, that's still going on. What do you think the invasion of Iraq is all about? And thousands more people go out and buy his books. He's been traveling the country preaching this message for a couple of years now to packed audiences.
So what's the reaction in Washington? Has anyone had any reaction to his accusations?
Yeah, the usual. Everything's denied. See, now I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist, too. The State Department says it's not confessions of a hitman, it's fantasies of a hitman. But, these books have been big sellers because Perkins has tapped into that river of distrust that Americans are feeling toward big corporations and giant lending agencies and government.
Well, we're all a little bit cynical, but the bottom line is the book worth reading?
David, I would say it is. You don't believe everything you read, of course, but I think it's good to get into something once in a while that takes the conventional wisdom and turns it upside down. And as I say, it's written like a cheap action novel, so you'll get it through it quickly, but you will be left with some lingering doubts about, what big business and big government is doing around the world on your behalf.
So, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'll give it 2 thumbs up. There are smarter critics, more informed and better developed conspiracy theories about U.S. foreign policy. But, give Perkins credit. He's getting people reading and thinking.
Good stuff, Michael. As always, thanks a lot.
You're welcome, David.